Hey folks, today we're talking tools, so I'd advise you to listen up. Eh? Eh? Welcome to the first episode of At the Vice, and since my Vice is in this condition, I can't really use it right now. What we're going to be talking about is all of the essential tools that I feel everyone should just have in their home, whether it's an apartment or a house or a condo or maybe a houseboat. Probably need more tools for that. And that looks like this.
Tools. What are they? Where did they come from? Who brought them here?
That's the table of tools that we're going to go through. So sit back, grab a beverage, maybe a snack. Before we get into it, I just want to tell you guys what At the Vice is going to be about. Basically, I want to provide a practical guide on how to fix things around the house or just how to solve uncommon challenges that you might run into with your pets or your children, or maybe you're just by yourself and you want to try out one of the crafts or projects that I come up with. With that, let's get into it. The first thing that I'm going to talk to you about is the most important thing in my opinion, and that's organization. As you saw in the picture, I have these right here. These are basically just pencil pouches, but they have a thick canvas on them so you can store tools really easily, especially when you have a toolbox that doesn't necessarily have shelves or drawers or things like that to sort things out. I will talk about my toolbox at the end of the video, but I find these the easiest way to store your tools inside the toolbox when you're in the situation that I'm in. When you have the different colors, it also makes it easier to organize your tools in there. So like with this orange one, this is where I have all of my driver style tools. Screwdrivers, nut drivers, my multi-tool or multi-bit drivers. In the blue one, this is the one that actually has like all the odd tools in it. This is where I keep like my set of Allen keys or a gear puller or just the kind of like weird quirky tools that people have around. And then in this green one, this is where I have all of my plier style tools. So this is where the scissors will go into when I get back. This is where the tongue and groove pliers will go into when I'm done. So that way, when I have to work on a project, I know where to look for the tool that I need to do what I need to do. Battery powered drills. Everybody, I think, should own a battery powered drill. If you have a corded drill, that's great. It does the same thing, except you need to have an extension cord and it has to be powered. But I also think that corded drills are a little bit more dangerous for just kind of everyday homeowners. There's a lot of power that goes into a corded drill and a lot of torque that comes out of it. When you work with a battery powered drill, you know, the power going into it is dependent on what's left in the battery, and it doesn't have as much torque as a corded drill is going to. Now, when you go to decide, if you decide to go and buy one, I have quarter cable. I used to be a big DeWalt guy, but once you do some research, you find out that most of them are just made by the same like 3 companies. You will find this very useful in your daily life. Just, you know, putting together furniture, not having to use the tiny little screwdriver that comes with the package. You can pull out your power drill. Really, really useful. So if you do go to look for this cell, this is an optional thing. I don't think everybody needs one of these, but you'll find it very useful as well. And that is an impact driver, right? So these two came in a set together that I found at Lowe's. I think it was a return, and I think I got it for like $60 off the buying price. So that was a steal for me. And that goes for any of the tools. You should always shop for the deals. Let's move on to safety. First, if you guys know me, you'll know that I am half deaf, so I take this one pretty serious. Get yourself a good pair of work headphones, sound canceling headphones. They have Bluetooth connect, so I can turn on some music while I'm working. Safety glasses. These are the next. You should just have a pair of these, and better yet, know where they are. That's probably one of my biggest things that I end up doing, is that I have the equipment and then I just put it in a box and I lose it and I have to go buy more. Finally, for protection, gloves. Get yourself a solid pair of work gloves. I like to have a good leather palm and then a breathable back. Flashlights. You should have a flashlight. In fact, you should have more than one flashlight. In your home or your apartment, you should almost have a flashlight in every single room. If the power goes out, you're gonna need it, right? So I have 3 different flashlights that I'm going to show you. The first one is, I don't know, this is one that I found on Amazon. I don't know who the brand is, but the reason that I wanted it was this, right? So I can change the wash on it to make it very focused, or I can spread it out so that way it covers a big area. The second is standard, and you know, this is like what a lot of people should have. These are the Defiant from Home Depot. They usually come in packs of like 3 or 4, and they're pretty bright. You know, for where we're at, you know, I have my shooting lights on, so it's kind of washing out the background. But when you can get 3 or 4 of these for $12, you can spread them out. They're reliable. They run on just AAAs, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, just AAA batteries. They last forever. I've used them since college, so almost 10 years. They're really solid flashlight. Last one is this guy. This one is by Energizer, and this is just a full wash light, right? So you see, it's big. It's great for projects. If you're working in the dark, it also has this badass hook on it. So if you need to hang it on something, you can. And lastly, it's got magnets on the back. Magnet there, magnet there. So if you have a piece of conduit that you can stick it to, or the side of a fridge, I would stick it to the car, but not gonna do that. Bad idea. Being able to see is really important when you're doing your projects, so having a good, reliable flashlight is an important bit. Moving on, we're gonna go to this one because it can cover it fast. Screwdrivers. Now, a lot of times people will do this, and they'll buy this right here. They'll buy this. They'll buy like an 8-pack of screwdrivers. And you know, for some reason, there's 6 standard heads. Why do they make standard head screwdrivers anymore? What are you good for? You can open paint cans. That's like your job. The most useful standard head screwdriver, and standard means flat. There's a bigger version. The most useful version of that is this guy right here. It's tiny, and it's the one that you need to tighten the set screws or the little pressure screws in all of the bathroom furniture, right? So your towel hanger, you have to tighten that screw down so it doesn't rattle around on the wall. This guy is what you need right there. The most useful standard head screwdriver in existence. So if you don't want to have 17,000 screwdrivers laying around your house, I suggest you get one of these. This is by Husky. This is another Home Depot purchase, and this is a ratcheting screwdriver. Hear that? You hear that? You hear it? You hear it? These are so useful, it's not even funny. If you don't want carpal tunnel, have a ratcheting screwdriver. And the great thing about this is that it comes with a point for a socket. And just like with the drill, since you have the drill, you need to get a socket or a bit set as well, right? So this is Cobalt, so that's a Lowe's purchase right there. But this one came with, I believe, 30 different bits in it. You know, I've changed some out, lost some, and whatnot. The case is solid. It locks tight. It's been through miles and miles of travel, and it still works great. So you can just take your bits from there. You can put them in here if you're putting together furniture or putting on new wall plates for your sockets. It's just a really great tool to have. Since we're talking about bits, you also should have one of these. This is your drill bit set. Put into your drill so you can make holes. Really enough said about that. The next tool is this guy. So this is Trades Pro, maybe Harbor Freight. But what this is a Keyhole Saw, right? And it accepts reciprocating saw blades, right? So if you don't know what a reciprocating saw is, it's also called Sawzall. It's kind of looks like a gun. You may have seen it on other websites that you probably weren't supposed to be on. But in order to use that, you want to buy these. And these are the reciprocating saw blades. They have wood and they have metal. They have many different lengths. There you go. There you go. There's a bunch right there. But the reason they call it a keyhole saw is because you get a point on it here, and that you can just push through the wall where you need to cut a hole. Now, some people say, oh, you need a hacksaw, or you need a full metal, or a full bladed wood saw. I don't find that the case anymore. If you're doing projects where you need that kind of saw, take some time, do a little bit more planning, buy a powered saw, see what you can do at your hardware store. I know Home Depot cuts wood for people, so there's a lot of options there. So this is the most useful saw that I find, because you can change the blades out. You know, you have the metal blade, which has fine teeth on it. There you go. So it has more of a rounded front here, and then it has the really fine teeth on here. So that comes really useful if you're going to be doing any plumbing in your house, right? Because you have to saw the PVC. If you don't have a power saw, this is really the best way to go, because you can just get in there and get work done. Another thing that people aren't going to realize that they need around their house. Get work done. These are the plastic eco shims. Posit, I guess they call them. It's not plastic. And they are just wonderful, right? So they already have 2 break-off lines set in them, and then they have the holes perforated down here. I'm not sure exactly why they do it, but it does allow for it to break fairly easily, just like a wood shim. Actually better than a wood shim. And pro tip, while we're at it, I'll get to this one next. So your mat knife, if you just make a score with your mat knife, it will break right at the score. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. One of the greatest things in the world. Since we're talking about it, you need a mat knife, right? So this one is just your standard cheapo mat knife. It's got the screw that you have to take out to change the blade. Reliable, cheap. And while you're at it, make sure that you pick up your 100 blade holder, and you'll probably never need to buy another one of these if you're just doing projects around your house. The next knife is this guy. Right? So you see that? It just has your standard square edge box cutter blade in there. And if you're doing anything where you might have to scrape adhesive off, or a label or something like that, this is the guy that you want to have around, because you'll be able to take that stuff off really quickly. Another odd tool that a lot of people don't think they need is this guy. This is just a small volt tester. As you can see, it's easy. It only has one button. You see that light blink here?
What does it do? No power? Power. No power? Power.
So that's the volt tester. Moving on. Everybody needs a hammer, but get yourself a 3-pound sledge. This one's 2.5 actually, but you know, it's for when you just really need to get hammered. Stud finders. There's like 2 basic kinds of stud finders. You have center find and you have edge finding. This is an edge finding stud finder that also detects electrics in the wall. Here we go. Can somebody tell me what this is called in the comments? Let's see how many different names we can get for it. I call it an adjustable wrench. Here we go. Tongue and groove pliers. Oh, hey. I found a use for the flathead screwdriver. I can scrape this foam off of my tongue and groove pliers. Wow. Tongue and groove pliers. So, I don't have the regular pliers in my essentials because this is what I generally default to. I also don't have a pipe wrench in my essentials because this is also what I default to for that. There are benefits to having a pipe wrench. With most of the plumbing work that I do in homes, in the homes I've lived in, I've always just gone to tongue and groove because it can get really wide. You can get a good grab on most of the things that you're working with. So this is what I suggest. Next, a pair of side cutters. These are great. If you need to cut wires, anything really that might be a little bit more difficult for your scissors, because you should have scissors in your toolkit. And I suggest getting like kitchen scissors. They're bigger, they're thicker, they're generally a little bit sharper. They have a lot more heft to them, and they can take on projects a lot better than just like a standard set of office scissors. Vice grips. Vice grips are amazing. They're locking pliers, so you can grab onto something and clamp down, and it stays clamped down. You have a little adjustment bolt back here that changes width of your jaw. You can see that. There you go. So whatever you grab onto, you can clamp down. And then this little lever guy right here is your release. That will open up your pliers. Speed square. Yeah, you might not need this, but it is great because it's a perfect 90, or close to a perfect 90. Nothing perfect. If you do get into that position where you're putting in a new door, or you need to cut something or mark something, this is great. You know, it's got an edge that it can sit on right there, and then you have a nice straight line that you can mark and cut it over. Pro tip, if you're cutting something that's longer than 7 inches, just flip it over, put it on the other edge, line the line up, bingity bing, bingity bing, bangity boom. Crowbar. You should have a Wonder Bar with you. This is a 15-inch pry bar. Lots of uses. It's a lever, you know, but it's got a sharp edge. You can cut off screws. You can hit people you don't like. Don't do that. That's a joke. Don't hit people you don't like. Just say mean things about them in the comments. Last thing I see a lot of people overlook is a level. This is just a 24-inch level. This is straight out of Harbor Freight. And if you can't, I don't know if you can see it there, but if you're going to hang pictures, you got to hang them level. Have a level. You put it on the wall. When the bubble's in the middle, is level. Okay? This is for plumb, right? This one goes left and right, so it shows you when it's straight up and down. That's what plumb means, straight up and down. Should be easy to say. Have a tape measure. Get a 25-foot tape measure. Don't buy the 12-foot. Don't buy the 13-foot. Don't buy the 15-foot. Buy a 25-foot tape measure. Next, pencils. This is the 15-pack of round pencils from Home Depot, and this is amazing because it comes with a pencil sharpener that goes into your drill. Oh no! The pencil isn't sharpened yet. What will I do? Caw! What's this? The CH Hanson drill pencil sharpener? Look at how sharp it is. So you don't want to be in the middle of a project and not have a pencil available because, you know, it's just annoying to have to run around and look for a pencil when you're in the middle of your project. Something else to keep in your house. WD-40 or some kind of spray lubricant, not spray adhesive. Lubricant. There's nothing to me that is more annoying than a squeaky door or, I mean, that's really what I use that for. Squeaky doors. Clamps. Extension cord. You should have an extension cord around. Actually, probably have more than one extension cord around. If you don't have an extension cord right now and you're going to buy one, make sure that you shop for big gauge, right? It's better to, when you're dealing with those types of things, it's better to have a higher capacity. Get yourself a bucket and a bucket head. A lot of people say that you should have a shop vac. The bucket head is a wet dry shop vac. I believe it's about $30, and it's a multi-use thing. I think everybody that lives anywhere should have a bucket of some kind. A lot of plumbing work, you're always going to need a bucket. And even if you don't do the plumbing, buckets are still useful to carry things, move things, you know, mix paint, whatever you need to do. Bam! Black case. It's not gold. Make sure you get a socket set, right? So this one used to have a case. It no longer has a case. It now has a bag because it broke. Next, Allen keys. Pretty much all the furniture that you're going to buy in a store is going to have some kind of Allen hex head drive bolt in it that you need to tighten. The tools that come with it are pretty garbage. So if you have these around, they're going to make your life a lot easier. You know, there's metric and standard. Just kidding. It's a standard metric. And that'll help you put all your furniture together. So anyway, that's it. Those are all the tools that I think people, adults, grown-ass humans should have available to them. You know, whether you live in an apartment or in a house, I believe it's very important to be able to do your service yourself. Like these tools are important for you to have access to. So when something breaks, you are at least somewhat prepared to mitigate the hazard, to fix the problem. That's it, guys. Okay, if you liked the video, feel free to give me those 3 clicks, and stay tuned. Tomorrow is random review. I'm pretty excited about that one. Before we get into it, boom, leave out the so. Stop saying so much. Hey, dummy, up here. There we go. Oh, I don't have the right adapter. Before we get into it, I just want to tell you guys what At the Vice is going to be about. It is going to be basically a practical guide on how to fix things around the house, or maybe just how, or God damn. That was pretty good. With that, let's get, stop. Over here. Come here. With that, let's get into, maybe I just turn face tracking off. There we go. With that, let's get into the list. The first thing on the list is going to be about why. Hey. What the fuck are you doing?